the old Scania model. And not that I'm in a hurry to buy a new or old used semi right this minute. I actually have no plans to go to the store on this episode. And Patchwork, good morning and welcome to the stream. Also Toasted Corn, I don't think I said hello to you. So welcome to the stream if you're still here. Yes, and it might be that I can get a cheaper, older Scania semi and a semi-trailer to do the haulage to the store for our grain crops, which might be a good thing. It saves us money. We definitely don't have enough money to get a semi-trailer right now. Let's put that on cruise. Take a check on that. I am considering tippers on there. See, I've got a lot of yard tippers, but I'm not. That's only 49. That's standard hitch. That's 43,000. So potentially something like that, but it's 55,000. That one's 42,000. That's cheaper, so we could look at that. This one's 61, 48,000. But you'll see I don't have a lot of semi-trailers. 63, 79. Let's see, those are too big. I'm not looking for something that huge. I think we messed that line up. So probably something in the £40,000 mark for a semi-trailer, and we just don't have the money for that right now. I think maybe if we check on the price of the MAN semi-truck, we might be able to work our way into a semi-truck with a tipper for a similar price, maybe even less. So I'm not entirely concerned. I just don't want to be using my tractors to haul all the way down to the main grain sell point and back. Hilltop Stores, which is up by our top fields, just at the on the horizon as we're looking up toward the right, is somewhere where Hilltop Stores is. I don't mind using a tractor for that. It's narrow country lanes and it's only a short trip. You don't want a big truck going that way because it's just going to get stuck. But going down to the main store, which is on a main road, I kind of don't want my tractors travelling that distance, especially at the speed they travel. It's just going to end up as a painful journey every time we go. So, for multiple journeys, since we are making a lot of grains this year. It'd be good to find out how much we're actually making. Okay. I think because of the telephone pole, maybe a power pole, I'm not sure. I would have to take a closer look at that ticket on the side of the post. I'm going to switch to the bit we missed, and then as we come down the next time we can go with the left side or right hand side of the pole and finish off that bit. So we'll go there. I'll that, and then we'll grab that bit there. Then we get it all done. Yeah, I think I was about half hour late starting this morning, but I was out on my internet keyboard warrior. Somebody said something wrong on the internet and I need to correct them. Kick. There are a lot of people who don't understand why people are protesting the Michigan governor. Because, stay home, stay safe. And part of the problem with that, I can stay home and stay safe. I can work from home. My company is, all of the office staff are working from home. And we are an essential business because we supply plastics and metal to corporations that make hospital beds and ventilator equipment, among other things. So some of our customers are switching their production to medical equipment and are very happy that we are still in business and still able to supply them with their necessary products. There are, I believe Ford just announced that their salaried staff, which I'm taking to be their office head office staff, aren't going back to the office until June. I don't have a problem with that. Because those people are probably still drawing a paycheck and we're working from home because it's safer to do so. But there are a lot of people who got laid off 8 weeks ago. We're now up to, I want to say, about 30% unemployment in Michigan since this started. And the website's down 90% of the time. So they can't sign on. So they're not getting an unemployment check. And they're being told by the governor, stay home, stay safe, and they're sitting there thinking, I've got no money. You're not giving me any money. Your website sucks. I can't get any money. How am I supposed to feed my family? How am I supposed to keep a roof over their head? How am I supposed to pay for my car? How am I supposed to pay the bills? That's how people have the nerve to go and protest. Because I don't know who said it, but people get very antsy when they don't know where their third meal is coming from. If I know I can get up in the morning, I can have breakfast, I can have lunch, I can have supper, I'm good. We'll worry about the next day tomorrow. But if you're going to bed and you've got enough food for breakfast and lunch, at that point things start breaking down because people are scared because they don't know where their next meal's coming from. And there are people in Michigan who are looking at their savings, looking at their credit card balances, and looking at the fact that they can't work and that they're supposed to be able to get unemployment and they can't because the unemployment website's not working properly. And they're saying, what am I supposed to do? You've just told us we've got to stay indoors for another 2 weeks. I don't have money for another 2 weeks. And our governor's basically saying, oh, these protesters, it's just a Trump rally. Why are we even talking about them? They're not important. They're your constituents, they need food, and you're not taking care of them. And so sentiment about our governor is rapidly declining because she dismisses everybody. You're not important, you're just a peasant. Stay at home, stay safe. Let the government provide for you. The government's not providing for you. Yeah, but their lives don't matter. We have to worry about the health care workers and people like that. So no, we need to worry about everybody. And you're not. And that's why you have a protest every week in Lansing, it seems. Well, okay, 2 weeks ago it was a protest everybody in their cars in Lansing. Last week was a protest outside the governor's house. And this week was another protest in Lansing. And it's because people are scared. People don't know where, they know where their next 3 meals are coming from, but they don't know if they're going to be able to keep a roof over their heads next month. They don't know if they're going to have their car repossessed next month. They don't know if the bank's going to start getting snotty with them because their credit cards are maxed and they can't afford to pay them. And they don't know how they're going to buy food for their families. And I mean, that can be an issue. The problem, I mean, that's another thing. Up until this week, wearing masks in Michigan has been optional. But all of a sudden now is everybody has to wear one. And it's sort of, okay, I understand, maybe it's a good idea that we wear masks. But seriously, where do you get to mandating the wearing of masks when it's just been rather blasé? Wear one if you feel like it for 7-8 weeks, and now you want everybody to wear a mask? Sort of, okay, explain to me the science. If you can explain to me the science, I'm happy. But sadly, our governor is he's not into explaining things to the peasants. You're a peasant. You don't have to worry about why. Just do what I say, because I know what's best for you. And you're all grounded because you've misbehaved in the last 2 weeks. So every time you misbehave, I'm going to ground you more. Treat people like adults. They will respect you. And that's part of what the fight was this week, was people have been contacting the legislature and basically said, look, the governor is making completely arbitrary decisions. One of them was construction workers can go back to work next week on Thursday. Why Thursday? Why not Monday? Because I want you to appreciate me for letting you go to work. Seems to be her, raison d'etre. And, there is no difference between Monday and Thursday, except you've arbitrarily decided that, no, I don't want you to go to work on Monday. You can start Thursday. They run their own freaking businesses. And, they know how long it takes to ramp up for a new job. But no, I didn't go to the protest this week. I haven't been to any of the protests, and part of that is because I'm an essential employee. I get to work from 8 till 5. I also don't get to shop at Ace Hardware because they're only open for non-essential workers. If you're an essential worker, their opening hours don't facilitate you shopping there. Now, however, I think it's Maya basically said, we want everybody to wear a mask in our store. And it's not because we think it'll stop you getting the virus, or it'll stop, it'll protect other people. They've said, if you wear a mask properly, then if you sneeze or cough or just breathe, there is vapor coming out of your mouth, and by wearing a mask it's not getting onto the produce and the packaging. You know what? I accept that as a fair argument. You may or may not be right, but it's rational. But you look at the people in the store, even the people who work in the store, and so many of them have a mask over their mouth, but not over their nose. Which is, from my mind, about as much use as wearing a Zorro mask or a Batman mask. Now, I also heard that wearing a mask is to protect other people. And it'll be about 5 years ago, I came across a video on YouTube of someone sneezing, and just the particles coming out of their mouth and how far they actually go. So you couldn't see, the video was using a camera that could see the vapor coming out of a person's mouth rather than the person themselves. But yeah, you see that happening, and it's sort of, put your hand over your mouth when you sneeze or cough, because it's horrible. And that stuff goes miles. Well, not literally miles, but apparently more recently someone did a similar experiment with people standing talking to each other. And as they were standing there talking, the amount of stuff in the air in front of their faces was just building up and building up and building up. And it's probably not the sort of thing I should be talking about, or you really want to be thinking about, especially not if you're having breakfast or whatever. But it's sort of, it does make sense to wear a mask, not to stop you getting the virus, not to protect you, but to protect the people that you're talking to. Now, if you're in a store and they've got perspex screens in front of them, then obviously no big deal. And I'm not talking to anybody in a store. The only person I talk to in most grocery stores is the person at the checkout. And some of the grocery stores, do you want paper or plastic? The bag. And the usual pleasantries of hello, goodbye, that'll be $72 or whatever it is. And that's about the limit of my conversation going to a grocery store. Other than that, I'm social distancing from everyone, so no issues there. We can turn that off. That's the wrong way round. So yeah, the whole wearing a mask, it's probably not going to protect many people, if anything. But it stops the scared people being more scared, I guess. yeah, I've seen people making the argument of, look, if you're scared, stay indoors. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Yeah, do what's right for you. But no, that's not a thing either. Right, well, the advantage with the JCB and not with this one is they're both four-wheel steering. But you can turn the four-wheel steering off on the JCB so it doesn't spin out crazy like oops, no, I didn't want to turn that on, I want to fold. That's a good thing. Go from the other side, I can see better. Actually, if you unfold, yeah. Little tip, if you leave your harvester unfolded, it usually lowers the rear suspension so that the harvester has more clearance to get the header on the trailer. I'm not doing very well with this, am I? This is why the class headers and trailers are better, because they do have a locking script which the older ones don't. So now if I back away, if I fold that up, it'll jack up the rear suspension. So the front of the harvester is lower and doesn't give as much clearance over the thing. That's a thing. The bale trailer, the header trailer, whatever it is. The thing what the limber's pulling. Okay, so we will manoeuvre this to here. Actually, we'll manoeuvre this out of the field. That should do it. So that is the end of the harvest. Yay. Put that and follow me, exit, and run back to there. And that's a rather seat belts, motorcycle helmets. That's one of the sad things about the UK. The motorcycle helmet law specifies what the motorcycle helmet has to, the standards it has to be made to. And the problem with that rule or the law is that it basically optimizes motorcycle helmets against piercing damage. So if someone is charging you on horseback with a lance, your motorcycle helmet is designed to provide some level of protection. Or if you fall off into an iron railing. However, if you fall off your motorcycle and your head goes sliding along the ground, it can cause the motorcycle helmet to very briefly melt and then reharden, which can cause a motorcycle helmet to stick very, very briefly to the road surface you're careening down. And obviously, since most of your body mass is in your lower part of your body and your head has just become glued to the ground even for a moment, your neck is at severe risk of being broken. And there are a fair number of motorcyclists, and I have met one or two, who have suffered from broken necks entirely due to that reason. So, yeah, UK motorcycle helmets designed to prevent piercing damage, not so much to prevent your neck being broken if it's sliding along the ground. And to some extent, impact damage. So if you smash your head into the side of a vehicle, then it's going to protect you from that. But yeah, there are a lot of motorcyclists who are rather concerned about how the British law on motorcycle helmets was actually created and doesn't work out too well. For some of them. I know when I left England they were looking at making leg protectors mandatory. Now, leg protectors on many motorcycles will protect you from having your leg broken when you swipe into the side of a vehicle or a vehicle crashes into the side of you, although less so when a vehicle crashes into the side of you, because the leg protectors are basically a U-shaped thing. Yeah, a U-shaped channel which your leg sits in whilst you're riding down the road. And I press the wrong button again. Now, that's all to the well and good if you have an offset collision with a car or truck or a side swipe and they hit your leg. You've just saved your leg from multiple breaks. The problem is if you crash into something, what usually happens is you're thrown forwards and the leg protector stops you from travelling forwards, or at least it stops your lower legs from travelling forwards. What it doesn't stop is the rest of you travelling forwards. So leg protectors actually cause far more serious knee injuries than which weren't as much of a factor. So yeah, trade-off. Do you smash your knee and be unable to walk for the rest of your life, or potentially both knees because you're getting thrown off a bike forwards by having leg protectors, or do you take your chances? What do I want to do with that? I don't want to be in that vehicle. Let's turn follow me off so we don't spend more money on helpers. Partially true. I have seen a lot of people, or I've seen a fair number of motorcycle accidents which were caused by motorcyclists doing stupid things. And yeah, that's their own stupidity. I actually saw the results of one. I was riding down this really nice country lane on the way from work to home. Awesome road if you knew it. And if you didn't know it, you needed to be travelling at a much reduced speed. And unfortunately it looks like, I'm going to say some kid, because it was a small sort of 125 horsepower racing style motorcycle. They do about 50 miles an hour. And it basically looked like the kid had come round one corner and then just travelled straight ahead into a copse of trees. Now I'm thinking it probably didn't end well for him.